Mamboleo TV, kuhabarisha, kuelimisha na burudani tele.
Everybody would be required also to comply with the Mutunga rules to the full. Now the second issue is that in all the petitions, the subject matter was the impeachment proceedings. The impeachment proceedings was culminating with the impeachment that was done last Thursday and the facts as they happened on Friday. A lot of these petitions would require some amendment so that they conform with the last position, so that they are not termed as academic. So that, my Lord, towards that, the petitioner, including in the petitions where I'm participating, we had requested formally that we would want 3 days to ensure that any amendments are carried out. And then the respondents will indicate, they have been saying they can do things within a day or two. They will indicate how much time they need to do the responses. Because, my Lord, that would assist in ensuring that whichever bench is going to hear and determine this matter would be able to give final directions. Because, as we have said, these are interim directions. In order to be able to determine issues for determination, and these are issues that we deal with when we are doing pre-trial, issues for determinations that are essential in a matter with so many parties, that would require close of pleadings. And the close of pleadings means that all the responses must be given. So that, my Lord, as far as today is concerned, I urge you respectfully that the first thing that can be forward is to ensure that the responses, in accordance with the Mutunga rules, will complete that journey. My Lord, if that is done, it is my view that we will be able to make some progress. In the meantime, my Lord, unless there is any other matter, because there was no other matter that was to be dealt with except directions, we would be happy to leave this place as soon as possible so that we are ready in the afternoon. We are most obliged.
Just before leaving.
Senior, because I'm on the same side, perhaps so you can have some response on it. Okay. Your Lordship, for purposes of clarity and for purposes of not addressing the gallery anymore, permit me to draw the attention of counsel for the Senate to the notice of motion that was filed in respect to the conservatory orders that were granted. The judge sitting in Kiruga, Your Lordship, was categorical that he granted prayer number C, even as we await Senior Counsel Paul Mwejo to come in the afternoon. The wording of those prayers was so explicit that if my good professor had the opportunity of interacting with the document, which I believe he has not, would have come to the conclusion that the orders were drafted in this manner, that pending the hearing and determination, of this application inter parties, this honorable court be pleased to grant the orders that were granted. That is therefore to mean, Your Lordship, that question that senior counsel was raising has no sitting in the pleadings before you. Number two, Your Lordship, since we are here for mention and in the afternoon we are coming for the application for recusal, And I have heard the advocates for the respondents insisting on the urgency to hear the application for setting aside. Your Lordship, it is important for the court to note that that application is not predicated on any response. And therefore, if I were them, I would be seeking guidance on how to file their replies. Your Lordship, I hope you are following. He doesn't seem to be following.
Why do you say that?
But
Why do you say that?
let me leave it at that.
Thank you. I think that is... Sorry, gentlemen. You cannot talk forever.
My Lord, on a very small issue, we do confirm that for His Excellency, the Deputy President, Gachagua, as the petitioner, we have not received responses from the respondents. So it is important that first of all we get directions for the filing of responses, because as we speak now, we have not received those responses from the respondents. Then number two, my colleague Senior Kibe has raised issues on filing of responses, so that in 522 we had given an indication that we might require to amend our pleadings, so that before the ruling that was delivered by this bench, there was indication that we might require to amend the pleading. That is in petitions in cohort number 1, so that if the court can grant us leave within 3 days, those amendments can be done. And thereafter, this can also probably affect in some petitions cohort number 2. So it is important that we get that particular direction. Finally, my lords, this proceeding, because of the nature, the way they are proceeding, would request that probably we be provided with sequentially the transcribed proceedings, so that in case we require the proceeding again at any time, those can be availed for purposes of good order. That is all.
With due respect to Council, we did not intend to make today this hearing a long hearing. Now we have read our directions, and I think you should let us wait for proceedings in the afternoon.
Sir, I have something to say. Number one, the petitioners cannot approbate and reprobate at the same time. They are calling upon the respondents to file their responses. At the same time, they are seeking leave to amend the petitions. How would petitions that are to be amended be responded to when actually it should be the amendments that should come first and then responses follow? Number two, we brought to the attention of the petitioners that the interim order, one of the interim orders expires today, and the other one is the one we are complaining about, that it is actually aggrieving the respondents and should be set aside, the Kirogoya order. Therefore, we shall be delving into that as soon as it is practicable. And number three, the reason why we are here and from the day before yesterday is due to the applications that were filed on the 18th of October to set aside the ex parte conservatory orders. Therefore, that agency cannot be lost or cannot be clouded in whatever else they are saying. It is our position that we should actually proceed and be heard on why those conservatory orders should be set aside. Thank you.
I apologize. We are ready to when I made an application for the court, they said, let me join. My Lord Justice Okola, you are very kind now. You promptly allowed my application. The court said was to be joined. And also I was to be joined by my name. You have not mentioned this. If you would be kind enough.
In which petition? Which cohort?
I'm sorry, I don't have papers.
We'll enjoy you. In your own name?
Yes, my own name. John M. And of course, people have been done.
So you are petitioner number 8?
No.
Interested party number 8?
Yes. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my Lord. We just want to restate the position that the urgency in this matter cannot be gainsaid or cannot be lost, my Lord. Under the contention that the replies have not been made, that we have not made the replies, is not correct because we have filed our responses. And my Lord, at the end of the day, the very led to the empanelment of these judges will actually be lost, because then we would be going back and forth, and at the end of the day, my Lord, we will not have served the public, the greater public interest or the greater public good that led to the empanelment, which you made a determination yesterday, my Lord. We would urge that we be able to proceed and argue this matter conclusively and rest it once and for all.
Thank you. We are no longer accepting any further submissions. I'm saying this, that it is not for court to direct parties when to respond to pleadings. It is not for court to direct parties when to respond to pleadings. But one thing which I can assure you, that this bench will not allow anybody to take the process of court in circles. So if you have been served the document, whether petition, if you don't respond, the court is allowed to infer that you have no response. If a petition has been filed and you have not responded to it, the court will make inference that you have no response to that petition. And by the very nature of these proceedings, we all acknowledge that they are public interest proceedings. No party will be allowed to take the court in circles. So I ask you, respond to the pleadings, file your petitions, respond to them. Don't come and ask for leave in a manner to suggest that you want to take this court in circles. We meet at 2:30.
I'm very keen on this setting aside.
That is it.
Nadhani umefika muda wa kurudi kwa wazazi wangu na mwanangu Maya. Hapa haya ni maji ya shingo na nimeshindwa kabisa kuyaongelea.
Mimi naweza chapwa na mwanamke mimi huyo basi.
Hata wewe mtu mzima haujui kuchunga mzigo wako. Shauri yako.
I'm starving. Are you starving as well?
I'm also starving, but I'm so starving for your love.
Hey, mwalimu, you are going to teach us in a kabutura.
Is there a problem with it?
Come on, you will die very poor.
Slap me again, my love. Say you love me.
Not even in your dreams. Shame on you. Odzote zilingia Buddha. Zilingia. You see? How much did you make? Enough to make a lasting impression.
What about it, Jeb?
He told me to pet call.
يعني إنسان الأمس الساكن Waislamu, tuangalieni mambo ambayo kwamba yatasaidia katika umma, si kutenganisha.